Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. I wasn't going to video this one, but because it's not actually a recipe, but I thought, hey, what a great way to show the different functions of the Thermomix and how to use it as a regular kitchen appliance. I am using Cookidoo recipes. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to make mac and cheese. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to boil the pasta. And there is a recipe on Cookidoo. I mean, I know that seems silly, but, and I've saved it to my week. Because what I'm going to use the boiled pasta recipe and the cheesy bechamel sauce recipe. I do adapt that one a little bit, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. And then I'm going to use the Thermomix to grate the cheese. But first up, I'm going to boil the pasta. So, and I'm going to do 250 grams of macaroni. Not sure how much it says to use in this recipe. So first up, it says to put in 1,200 grams of water. Now, I didn't show you that my bowl was empty, but I literally just washed it up and put it back together. Okay. Okay. Perfect. There's something touching my bowl. This, right now. Rightio. Next, we want the simmering basket on top instead of the measuring cup because we're going to go over 95 degrees. And it's 10 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. And we're just going to boil the water. And it says to prolong time if it's not to 100 degrees because we want the water boiling. Rightio, I'll be back when that boils. So I have to give it an extra 2 minutes to get it up to 100 degrees. Now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now this is optional, but I just feel it needs salt. So this is 1/2 teaspoon, so we'll do 3 of them. And then it shows you how to add spaghetti. So when you're adding spaghetti, you just drop the bunch through there and it gives you a little video. I love the little videos. Okay? And then when you turn it on, it'll pull it all down into there. Sometimes you need to give it a tap on top, but anyway. But I'm adding macaroni and I only want 250 grams. And that's just so I get the right quantity of pasta to the sauce. Rightio. And then we'll go next. Without the measuring cup, we're going to cook it we set our own time because we look, all your different pastas have different cooking times. And this says 8 minutes. So we'll cook this, put it on for 8 minutes. Oops, got a bit excited there. Okay, 8 minutes. And it's going to cook at 100 degrees on speed 1 in reverse. All right, I'll be back at 8 minutes and we'll test it to see if it's cooked to our liking. I have to find a shorter one of these. This one's too long. Rightio, so now we're going to test the pasta to see if it's cooked. Sort of a bit crumbly in the middle. I do want it really, really well cooked, you know, sort of almost creamy. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. And let's go back. What did we have it on? Speed 1 in reverse. Yep, that's what I thought. Rightio. I'll be back. Rightio. So I've drained the pasta. You can drain it through your Varoma dish. I like this bowl and that strainer because it fits perfectly. Oh, so I threw the bacon on the ground. Okay, I'll grab that. And now we're going to grate some cheese. So we're going to go next. We're finished with that. So I would generally just weigh it in. Speed 9 for 5 seconds. But we're going to look at the chop mode. So it is here. Now your modes you can rearrange. If you go up here and you go edit view, you can then move your modes around, and then we'll go, okay, I want to move it back 1 so it's there, and then go save. Or you can hide them if you don't want to see that mode. But we're going to do chop, and if we go into the chop mode, I'll just wait, it opens up a whole menu of different food types. And if we go, we've got cheese, medium hard, for example, Gruyere, cheddar, Emmental. I don't know, or Parmesan cheese or other hard cheese. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this because I'm going to put a mix, and it says 70 to 300 grams of cheese. So I want 160 grams of cheese. So what I've got is this little bit here, which I want to use up. Oh, hang on. That was so clever. Okay, let's do that again. So when you're doing that, okay, we've selected that. Now we're going to go scales. And we're going to weigh in the cheese. I want just a little bit of Parmesan. And I'll chop it up into little bits because it's going in with the medium cheese. And then I'm going to make up the rest with just regular tasty cheddar. I should have got a pair of scissors, but you know that worked. And what do I want? About 100 grams, so I've worked out that a slice about that wide, I don't know what that is, a centimetre and a half is 100 grams. Let's see how close I got. Usually if I'm trying to show someone something like this, it doesn't work. 152, 151. That was pretty close to 100 grams. Rightio. And we're going to chop it. So now we go set, speed 5, and we're going to go to Oh, it's 5 seconds, speed set. Oh, hang on. You know, it's not going to let me do that. So I've got to put the lid on. Okay. And let's have a look. How's that? Oh yeah. Rightio. So we'll set that aside for later. And now we're going to make the bechamel sauce. So if we go back here to my week, I've saved the cheesy bechamel. I don't know if this one's, I'm putting bacon in this. I don't know if this has got bacon in it. Well, it's going to have bacon in it now. So what we might do is let's go back to the front page and we'll add in 100 grams of bacon, just because that seems like a good number. Still a bit frozen. Oops. Rightio. And we'll give that, I'm just going to give it a bit of a warm up. So we're going to go back to the home page. I reckon 3 minutes at 100 degrees. Oops. Let's take that off. Speed 1, or with the blade in reverse, speed 1. And that'll just give us a bit of a browning on the bacon. I'll be back once that's done and we'll crack on with the bechamel sauce. Okay, I ended up giving that a little bit longer than that because if you remember, it was pretty frozen when I dropped it in there. So just give it a bit of a warm up, bit of a sizzle. I'll pop that in there with the spaghetti pasta, with the macaroni pasta. And then, now I'm not going to bother about washing the bowl or anything, but we'll move on to the cheesy bechamel. So that was the first change in the sauce, is we're adding bacon, but we're also going to add a bit more milk, so it's because the pasta will absorb some of the liquid. And we're going to start cooking. So we've got to add 50 to 70 grams of cheddar cheese. Oh, and this is where we're chopping the pasta, the cheese, but we've already done that. So if we go on, okay. I don't think I wanted to make sure that we didn't pull it out and rightio. And so we don't have to chop that because I did it all at once because I want some for the top too. Now we're going to add 40 grams of butter. Rightio. So it says 500 grams of milk. I'm going to add 600 grams. So we'll have to increase the cooking time a little bit as well. So I'm actually curious what cheese people use when they're making mac and cheese. So I've just used a mix of cheeses, which is what I've got in my fridge. But has anyone got any favourites? What they feel that make a particularly delicious mac and cheese? Okay, 40 grams of plain flour. So I see recipes that have got all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour and plain flour are the same thing. 40 grams. Oops, I put a bit extra in there. I'm going to see if I can get some out. Something to put that on, maybe my hand, because I won't put this back in the canister. Okay, that's better. Bit wasteful. A quarter to a half teaspoon of salt. So we'll do a nice big pinch, maybe a second one. 1 or 2 pinches of black pepper. I'm going to have to fill up my black pepper soon because it's nearly empty. I just whip my black pepper in the Thermomix with whole peppercorns, and I make my own cracked black pepper. 1.5 pinches of nutmeg. People that have watched me cook before know that I'm not fussed on nutmeg in my bechamel sauce. We want the simmering basket on top. And then we're going to, this is using the thicken mode. So we're just going to go turn it on. And that's going to heat it up to 100 degrees. So it will work at its own time. So we won't actually have, I said we'd have to extend the cooking time, but the Thermomix is going to decide when it's cooked, because once it gets to 100 degrees, it'll cook it for a certain amount of time after that, and then it'll turn itself off. Rightio? So I'll be back once this is cooked. Rightio. And then use as desired. So how I desire to use this is I am going to get out. What I've done here is I have mixed the bacon through the pasta, and now I'm going to carefully mix the sauce through, because I will, if I'm not careful, I will make a big sloppy mess of it. We want it to be nice and saucy. Okay. I probably should have given that a taste to see if it needed any more salt and pepper. Righto. Nope. Perfect, rightio. So I've got my big baking dish here. sprinkle over the cheese. Now I'm going to bake this at 180 degrees for about, I don't know, half an hour until it's all nice and bubbly on top. You can, it's really nice if you mix some breadcrumbs through that, or even if you put some slices of tomatoes on top of the macaroni and cheese, and then put your cheese and breadcrumbs over the top of that. That's how my mum used to make it all the time, and that's delicious as well. Rightio, I'm going to bake this at 180 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. And then once it comes out of the oven and cools a bit, we'll come back and have a taste. Rightio, so we've got our mac and cheese. And this is a really great side dish, lunch, snack, so many things. And it cuts up into really nice pieces too. So, let's give it a little taste. And that's perfect. That extra milk. Gives it a really, lots of sauce in between the pasta. I mean, there's recipes for mac and cheese on Cookidoo, on Recipe Community, on some of the other Thermomix websites, Thermomix related websites like Skinny Mixes or The Road to Loving My Thermomix. I mean, there's probably heaps, but they're the only two I can think of off the top of my head that have a mac and cheese recipe. But I think that it's really great to be able to just use a few of the functions on the Thermomix and put it together yourself, because we never used to have a recipe to make mac and cheese. It was always just boil the pasta, make the cheese sauce, mix it together, put cheese on top and bake it. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.